James's family was a true spiritual battlefield. On one side, his maternal lineage, marked by spiritualist practices and an esoteric Christianity that mixed dream interpretation, beneficial prayers, and, unfortunately, the dreaded reverse prayer. His maternal aunts, self-proclaimed saints, judged and cursed with the conviction that they were sanctioned by God. On the other side, his paternal lineage descended from Roma, gypsies, guardians of traditional witchcraft, card and palm reading, and the art of cursing and spell casting. James, heir to this tradition, never considered himself a modern witch, but rather a continuation of ancestral customs. Growing up in this environment required a special spiritual disposition. James felt that everyone there was an enemy from past lives, fated to reincarnate together in an unending war. His maternal aunts manipulated the family through fear of hell, using supposed divine revelations to control and subjugate. James, with his unwavering confidence, saw himself as the king cobra among so many venomous snakes. His maternal grandmother was the balance. She never practiced reverse prayers, only interpreted dreams and performed beneficial prayers. She always warned James about his aunts, nicknamed Gospel Sleeping Beauty and Disgusting Old Hag. The first, famous for falling asleep after family lunches. The second, the primary practitioner of the reverse prayer, driven by envy. The aunt's malice went beyond limits. Because his grandmother never accepted their practices, they began to pray for her death, justifying that it would be better for God to take her than to see her in sin. 15 years ago, the prayer came true. His grandmother developed an aggressive tumor and died quickly, leaving James unprotected. He, who spent more time with her than with his own mother, had to learn to survive the spiritual war that followed. Without the protection of his grandmother's prayers, he was left to fight or succumb. The aunts never missed an opportunity to defame the paternal family, accusing them of witchcraft and being evil. They spread stories of ox heads buried in the backyard, cursing the maternal family with illnesses. It was a war of lineages. On one side, the Christians, as James always emphasized, in quotes. On the other, the Roma witches.
Tired of these disputes, James tried to distance himself from all spiritual practice. But his journey led him to a new relationship and a deepening into his grandfather's family magic. The practice manifested quickly, for, as he said, it was already part of his spiritual DNA. This was a scandal for the aunts. 3 of them rose against James: Gospel Sleeping Beauty, Disgusting Old Hag, and Snow White Toothless. For them, James' relationship with another man and his practice of witchcraft were abominations. Disgusting Old Hag was the most aggressive, calling James and attacking him. "Hello, you wizard! How are you? Satan, I'm calling to cast you out. I'm praying against you. God will kill you. You'll see." James, with his usual irony, replied, "I'm great. How about you, Auntie? This is a prank call, right? You never learn." She insisted, "You wait. God will send a plague upon you." He, unfazed, retorted, "We'll see, dear. Pray, but pray really hard. And you wait for me too. Kisses, beloved. Loved your call." He knew he had to be strong. It was his own aunt wishing for his death. James wasted no time. He began studying ways to defend himself from his aunt's spiritual attacks, starting with shut-your-mouth hussy spells to weaken her prayers. He also cast a protection spell for his boyfriend, anticipating that the aunts would try to destroy him. The protection worked, and the relationship lasted almost 10 years. The war was on. Curses from them, hexes from him. Today, James and his aunt no longer speak, and she even managed to turn 2 other aunts against him, using the victim tactic. 3 months after the war began, James started waking up every day at 3 in the morning. He suspected his aunt had managed to break free of the spell. He continued with the counterattacks, but the waking persisted. It felt like someone was poking him, startling him awake. Suspicious, James thought it might be a spirit. He ran a test. He put salt at the bedroom door and stones in the corners to block passage. It didn't work. He kept waking up, and the salt appeared broken. His mother and sister swore they hadn't entered the room. James thought he was dealing with a strong spirit, but his college and work routine didn't allow him to waste time on it. He decided to wake up before the spirit to confront it. That night, nothing happened. The next night, he slept in his mother's room and at 2:45 a.m. went to his room with a flashlight. The salt was again broken. He turned on the light and discovered the truth. His dog, who liked to steal food from the altar, was responsible for breaking the barrier. He laughed so hard he almost forgot about the problem. But something was still waking him up at 3 in the morning. It wasn't the dog, nor a spirit. In the following days, nothing appeared. He then decided to cast a spell to discover the origin of the disturbance. A few weeks later, during a Sunday lunch, Gospel Sleeping Beauty revealed that she was on a prayer vigil. James asked why, and she replied, "I'm praying for my ex-husband's baby to be born and catch the chikungunya virus." The family was horrified. She also revealed that she prayed against James every day at 3 in the morning.
That was James's epiphany. It was the negative charge from his aunt's prayers that was startling him awake. He quickly moved to neutralize her prayers, and the torment of the early morning ceased. Snow White Toothless, another problematic aunt, had a criminal son. But for her, James was the one who was wrong for dating another man and practicing witchcraft. She came to talk, saying she would ask God to end his relationship and his spiritual practices. James, tired, warned, "Just know that whatever you send my way, I will send back to you." She laughed, but kept her distance. Out of curiosity, James read tarot to spy on her. He discovered that she had taken a blouse of his to cast a spell. He defended himself and even sent the energy back with an extra for her audacity. A month later, the aunt had a psychological attack with hallucinations of her house catching fire, exactly what she wished for James. He survived once again. And because she had challenged him, James performed a ritual for her son to go to jail, where he has been for 2 years. Another ritual for her husband to leave her. And he did, now dating a homeless woman. James quipped, "What a humiliation to be traded for a homeless woman." Recently, James called his aunt to warn her that if she insisted on attacking him, things would only get worse for her. He sent big hugs to his cousin in jail and to his uncle with the homeless woman.
James concludes his account by emphasizing that everything happened and still happens. Every now and then, they are at war. He is a survivor, and his story is a testament to the persistence of spiritual forces and the need for protection. The advice is clear. Be careful who has access to your belongings, because not everyone has a good heart. The war of lineages between Christians and witches remains alive. James learned to defend himself, to fight back, and to protect those he loves. The price is high, but the alternative would be to succumb to envy, fear, and manipulation. James's story is a warning about the power of words, intentions, and the energy that circulates in families. In environments where spirituality is used as a weapon, only the strong survive. James moves forward, alert, protected, and ready for the next confrontation. His experience is a reminder that in the invisible world, every action has a reaction, and that true strength lies in knowing and respecting one's own power.